Hey, what's going on YouTube? And welcome back to Coffee Shop Chatter. I'm Mr. Controversy. So, per as usual, go and hit that subscribe button that's right there. If this is your first time, like I said, if you're a repeat offender, just go ahead and hit the like. It ain't gonna hurt you. Right now, I'm at about 221, trying to get to 500 before the end of the year. So, I appreciate you guys and gals if you can help me out with that. Just by subscribing. As always, I ask that you like the content. It's just so it can get out to other people to watch it. Basically, putting it into the algorithm. And as usual, comment. I see some of you guys been commenting. I, hey, I personally like healthy discussions. So anyway, there's going to be some mad individuals, especially in these asylum states. There are going to be a lot of happy of it individuals because apparently the U.S. Court of Appeals has approved that illegal migrants could be taken. They could be sent home, irregardless. But we're gonna go ahead and I find it funny, but we're gonna go and jump into this video and see what they gotta say about it.
An appeals court on the West Coast just ruled the US can deport illegal immigrants even if local governments oppose those removals. Chad Wolf joins me now. Does this mean Trump can get around sanctuary city rules?
Well, I think this is obviously a win for the incoming Trump administration. And I think what this validates is the ability for ICE to do their job, to remove individuals, bad individuals from the country, regardless of what local jurisdictions may or may not do to help them do that. It's federal immigration law, and they have the ability to execute on that law. So it's a good ruling for them.
How long before the concept of the migrant sanctuary is just out of bounds? I think the whole sanctuary idea is just losing steam. I think it's nearing its end. What say you?
Well, I think you're right, Stuart. I think what you see in places like New York, right? You got Mayor Adams saying, look, he wants to sit down with Tom Homan and talk about how they can work together to remove dangerous individuals from their city streets. And I think once you've got blue city mayors that start to understand what is going on here and how those illegal aliens that continue to commit those crimes and put their community at danger, and how ICE can help them. I think they'll start to come around. But I agree with you. I think the public sentiment on sanctuary city jurisdictions has turned over these last 6 to 8 months.
I really think public sentiment changes when it looks like sanctuary city mayors or sanctuary city state governors are protecting criminals. I mean, I don't see how you can get away with that politically. You've got a rapist in prison, you won't let ICE go get him. I don't see that lasting.
Well, I think that's right. But, what a lot of these blue city mayors are good at doing is they conflate the facts, right? They'll say, well, I want to protect residents in my community. But what they're not saying is I won't turn over criminals to ICE. So I think the more and more that we talk about this, to say all ICE is asking them to do is to let them pick up this dangerous alien criminal while they're in a local jail, so that they don't have to go into city streets, into those communities and put others at risk. Right. When you have an enforcement team that goes out there, let ICE do that within the confines of a jail, which is safe and secure, not only for the officer, but for that alien as well. And that's all we're talking about. And but what you see a lot of these mayors do is they conflate that to say, well, I don't want them to pick up, that 87-year-old grandmother. That's not what we're talking about here. It's not what the president's talking about. It's not what Tom Homan's talking about.
Tom Homan says you go after the villains first and take care of the rest later, but they're first. Right. Chad, thanks for joining us as always. We'll see you again real soon.
So do you have it? So this is what I think about the whole thing. Criminals first. That means all these trendy raw guys, whoever the little gangsters, they first. All the criminals, and then everybody else, unless you are seeking asylum. That is the only way you're supposed to be coming into the U.S. A lot of these people have filled out the app saying they seek asylum, but in reality, they come here for a job. There are people who live in Mexico who get a working pass where they can come into the U.S., especially in Arizona. They work and then they go back home. So all these people from Venezuela, their life not in danger. They're telling on themselves. They say, I'm coming for a better living to work. But you got 3 million plus people here. We don't have that many jobs for people that's here now. I see it right now. I see a lot of veterans getting out the military that's trying to find jobs. That's constantly putting their resumes out here to get jobs. Some of them people who get jobs, and it's just basically based off your experience, what you did while you was in the military, what you may get a job quicker. There are a lot of civilians who never served, who haven't served, also having problems getting jobs to make ends meet. So they're taking one, two, some people got 3 jobs because they got family to take care of. So they acting kind of traditional, whereas the wife has to stay home and they're raising the kids or kid, and the father is working like 2 jobs, extremely long hours, but it has to be done. So all I can say is this is gonna sound bad, and I don't mean I honestly I don't make it sound that way. But when the U.S. Court of Appeals did that, that was like them turning on the lights and the damn roaches are running. I'm not calling them roaches. I'm just saying that's just the effect. They're gonna be running hiding, people gonna be hiding, but they ain't gonna be able to hide because they are now have the full blown authority with no assistance from any state local official or law enforcement to go into hotels, which taxpayers of those states, you're paying for it. So I don't know why you're upset that they're going to go in there and get those people. You're paying their bill. You're paying for hotels for people to stay in that you came in afford to stay in yourself. But all I say, I hate to see you go, but hey, it happens. Time is up. Hope you enjoyed your vacation because that's pretty much what it was.